Well, the first thing I want to address before anything is, apparently you're telling me that a lot of people are wondering, like, how you got me to do this.
Pretty much.
Because this is something I would never, ever do
Nope.
in a billion years. For any reason.
Nope.
I think it's basically because, I guess because you asked me to.
I appreciate that.
And it's the whole, for someone like me, talking on camera to where it's posted to all the scum of the internet to criticize is probably like the worst thing someone could ask me to do.
Okay.
But at the same time, you're asking me to just talk about movies, which is the easiest thing for me to do, so there's like an even balance.
That makes sense.
Also, if I were to ever need anything from you, I will hold this over your head for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff already over my head, by the way.
Well, this is a big one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
You're asking me to put myself on the godforsaken internet every day of the week.
Yeah.
Well, not every week. Yes.
Well, as much as you want, really. If you want to be here every day, we can make that happen.
No.
I didn't think so. Sorry, Popcasters.
Yes. Yeah, I hate the terminology too, but...
Really? It's not bad! Popcasters, I think it works.
Well, I told you from the get-go when you told me the name of the thing, I was all, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
But we'll go with it. Yeah. So,
Reluctant Popcaster.
Yes. Should we get started with Iron Man?
Indeed.
Alright. Well, it starts off in 1999. Oh, wait. Before we do that, let me just say, as far as the Marvel versus DC thing, like, that's like especially on the internet, it's an ongoing thing where, like, if you love Marvel, you hate DC, and if you love DC, you hate Marvel. And
yeah. I know someone that likes that.
Yeah. But the thing is that they're on this channel, too.
Yes, they are.
The thing is everybody's all, DC is dark and brooding and all that, like the Dark Knight movies and Watchmen and, to an extent, Superman. And then Marvel has, like, all the comedy and they're fighting aliens.
So it's much more comic book-like, much more unbelievable.
But I actually think it's really logical. The most logical thing you can do is love both, because Marvel has the humor and fun the Avengers has the humor and fun
yeah.
that the Dark Knight doesn't have. And the Dark Knight has, like, the really serious themes that the Avengers has serious themes in a way, but not to the extreme that the Dark Knight movies do.
Makes sense.
So, I'm just a fan of both of them, so...
Me too.
I'm not gonna say, like... I love Nolan's Batman movies, so the Avengers movies are, like, childish and stupid. Because that's not the case at all.
Nope.
Which is why I'm about to give you a pretty positive review of Iron Man 3. So... So it starts in 99, and they let you know of that immediately because they're playing that song. What is that band's name?
It's Eiffel 65. It's a one-hit wonder called Blue.
Yes.
Yes.
It's literally the very first thing. You see the Iron Man suits exploding, and then Downey does his Kiss Kiss Bang Bang shtick where he says, "Oh wait, let's go back and do this first." And it's that fucking song.
Yeah. I was kind of shocked when I heard it for the first time myself, because it's been forever since I've heard that song. Not since the 90s.
Yeah, but you heard it enough in the 90s to make up for the last 10 years.
Very, very true.
So they play with the whole it being 1999 thing, like Favreau is Happy Hogan, and he's got, like, the hair and the beard.
The most awesome bolo tie in the history of man.
And,
looks like Mr. Ernst from Hey Dude. Yeah, that's the vibe I got.
And of course they play with that because you'll remember in the first Iron Man, Jensen, the guy he's in the cave with, that he's building the suit with, says, we met once at a press conference in Bern, Switzerland. And sure enough, this movie starts in Bern, Switzerland, and he runs into Jensen and blows him off. And of course they have to have that little Jensen saying, "Perhaps another time," which,
The old chestnut.
The thing is the thing that bothered me, though, I actually didn't like this movie for the first 45 minutes, but I like it as a whole, so I'll show you how that came to be.
Explanation is coming.
I didn't like the fact that in the first Iron Man, before he got like blown up,
like you do.
he was a dick.
Yeah.
But apparently in 1999, Tony Stark was like the biggest cock in the worst way.
Very
like,
much so.
Much worse than he was at the beginning of Iron Man. Because he's like they meet, like Guy Pearce comes running in with the cane, doing his best impression of Jim Carrey's Edward Nygma.
Yeah, he's
got the big teeth and the hair. And
he looks like his
for some reason he's that comes in later why he limps, but Downey's with Rebecca Hall and they're in the elevator, and Guy Pearce gives Rebecca Hall 2 business cards, and Stark takes them both and says, "Here's one to throw away and one to not call." That's what a dickish thing to say.
Yes, very true.
No wonder Aldrich Killian turns into a douchebag.
No lie.
And on top of that,
his name tag?
Yeah, did you know who I am? Because that's foreshadowing.
Of course.
The thing is not only is he a douche to him in the elevator, but after everybody's left the elevator, he actually stops Guy Pearce and says, "I'll meet you on the roof and we'll talk," having no intention of meeting Guy Pearce on the roof. And he leaves him out there. It's like, I don't remember Stark being that much of a dick before.
Yeah, that's very true.
I don't know anything that would have happened between 99 and 2008. But
it's a nice span of time, though.
Yeah, I guess. And, I guess we'll go into... I didn't like the fact that, everybody's complaint is this one has too much comedy in it. Which... that's what the Marvel movies do.
Yeah.
Like, let's paraphrase Stark from the first Iron Man. Shane Black is doing this one, who did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He, like, wrote Lethal Weapon and all that. As far as the comedy's concerned, that's how Favreau did it. That's how Whedon did it. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Very true.
So, I guess we're going to do that. But the problem is it's like down... not so much the... they're really trying to play on the... as much as I really hate to say it, Downey's sarcastic douchebag shtick thing is like really, really run its course lately. But that, like with the Iron Man movies and the Avengers on top of Sherlock Holmes and just his real life persona in general.
Oh yeah.
And it's like he's just like, literally everything that comes out of his mouth is like he's trying to throw something funny at the wall to see if it sticks or not. And that, like, the obvious, I think this was a reference that not many people are going to notice, but when he's at the table at that bar with Don Cheadle, and that kid comes up to get his autograph, and the kid is a really short kid, and he's blonde, he's got the glasses.
That was funny.
And Downey says, "I loved you in A Christmas Story, by the way." Little do we realize that that might also be a reference to Jon Favreau's buddy, Peter Billingsley, who was the kid in A Christmas Story, and he's also the scientist in the first Iron Man that Bridges yells at and says, Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps. That was him. Under bald makeup.
Very nice.
Do you want to go into Kingsley now?
Well, oh, of course.
Well, okay, let me just... Okay. Kingsley's character is really badass, which really concerned people when he was cast, because the last 2 times Kingsley has played a bad guy, it was in Thunderbirds and Blood Rain.
Thunderbirds.
And I was thinking, obviously, what most people were thinking was, maybe we'll get a little less... This movie looked really dark in the trailer, so maybe we'd get a little less Thunderbirds and Blood Rain and a little more Don Logan from Sexy Beast. And he's actually really vicious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he has the, it's your normal cheesy villain stuff, but I actually loved his little monologues, like, when he's, like, cracking the fortune cookies, and he says, he's talking about how fortune cookies are actually American and they're not Chinese, and he's like, you know they're American, because they're hollow, they're filled with lies, and they leave a bad taste in your mouth.
He reminds me of Muhammad Hassan doing a Nixon impersonation.
Yeah, that's another thing about the Marvel DC battle, is Dark Knight fans were all over this movie for no reason.
Yep.
When the first trailer came out, and the Mandarin says, "You'll never see me coming," everybody tried to say that was a ripoff of Heath Ledger's "Here We Go" line.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Now you're doing Jim Carrey as Walter Cronkite.
Yes!
Idris Almighty.
Indeed.
Well, the thing is everybody, ever since, obviously The Dark Knight is a beloved movie, but everybody seems to think that everything wants to rip off The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
But I can kind of see that. Then when he interrogated Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2, that was pretty similar.
Yeah.
When Mickey Rourke's doing the there's going to be blood in the water thing. But not every movie is trying to be The Dark Knight like people seem to think so.
Very true.
It's just, yeah, that's just the way it is. There was also there was a dude in our theater. The theater was actually pretty full last night.
For 9:50, it wasn't bad.
There was one dude that laughed, and I think he was the only dude that caught it. But there's a scene where Tony is fighting this girl in the middle of the movie. And he goes outside, and there's a dude hiding behind his car. And Tony's just like seeing if he's okay. The dude hiding behind the car is Joss Whedon.
Yeah, it is.
Without his beard, so I didn't recognize him at first, but when that dude laughed, it kind of made it register in my head.
Fanboy alert.
Yeah, apparently he was the only one. I want to go into the supporting cast because there's all kinds of people here that not a lot of people know that are awesome. Like James Batchdale, who was he apparently came right off the set of Flight because he still doesn't have his hair back. He was the cancer patient in Flight that talks to Denzel in the stairwell. But I'm not going to issue a spoiler alert because everybody in the world's already seen this movie. He's the guy that kills DiCaprio in The Departed.
Yeah.
And he's Guy Pearce's bodyguard. And he's like the T-1000.
Yeah, he really is.
He's got they demonstrated it with a plant at the beginning where it can reconstruct itself. And you see James Batchdale in an explosion, and he literally comes walking out, and he just reforms. But that confused me, because all the villains do that.
Yeah.
Were you by any chance wondering why, what do you have to do to kill them?
It's like the Curse of the Mummy, that's what it was reminding me of.
I don't understand how you kill them, though, because, there'll be in explosions, and then they'll come back out, like the Terminator comes out of the exploding semi-truck.
Yeah, pretty much.
But then, sometimes you shoot them and they blow up and they die.
Yeah.
But they never... Did they explain why? How?
No. I never got that at all.
How they can sometimes come back and sometimes they can't.
Well, I know they have power to, destroy bones. I mean, I noticed that, too, and, crush you, and...
By the way, did they ever go... I don't remember this. They might have. Did they ever go into the fact that, apparently the whole reason Aldrich Killian was crippled at the beginning was he's probably running on that now?
They hinted at it, but they really didn't go full into it. I think it's one of those, you should probably know this, but...
Guy Pearce had a lot of exposition in his first scene. It might have been in there somewhere.
Yeah.
They were when they were inside his brain and shit.
There was a lot to follow around in anything Guy Pearce did in the first half of the movie.
Oh yeah, we gotta mention that. There was a rumor when the movie was in post-production that Guy Pearce only had a cameo.
Yep.
That is not true.
No.
Guy Pearce has a lot of screen time. And he's very important.
He's got Siegfried hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I'm just gonna throw this out there. He looked like Edward Nygma at the beginning.
Yes.
His name is fucking Aldrich Killian. No. He does not have a sinister agenda at all.
Very nice.
And he's played by Guy Pearce.
Yes.
You look at
beautiful umbrella pattern.
Yes, and The Hurt Locker. You look at Lawless, and there's another movie where he plays a really bad guy. He's actually not a very trustworthy guy in Memento when you learn the twist.
True.
So unless it's LA Confidential, if you see Guy Pearce in a suit, it's not very good news.
No.
Also, with the beginning where he looks like Edward Nygma, he loves distorting himself lately. Because when he was Charlie Rakes in Lawless, he shaved his eyebrows and had the Jack Nicholson hairline. In Prometheus, he's completely covered in the old man makeup, which was just weird. Because why did they cast him to begin with? He's in the makeup in the road. Remember his scene at the very end?
Yeah. We thought we missed his complete screen time. Because the copy of the road we watched online was actually missing a little bit, and we're like, okay, where's Guy Pearce? Where's Guy Pearce?
Yeah, we missed most of Charlize in that movie, too.
And he legitimately shows up right at the very end of the movie. It's like, yeah, there he is!
Alright, going on the supporting cast besides Bad Jail is, William Sadler was the president, and he was the villain in Die Hard 2, and he's like, he's Dan's friend Dwight on Roseanne. Here's a douchebag in real life, so that kind of bummed me out, because I used to be a huge fan of his, but he pretty much does what he had. I guess he's a convincing president. He didn't really have to do much.
Most presidents don't.
But well, that's a whole other subject.
We're not allowed to talk politics on Pop.
I don't pay attention to politics at all. So
neither do I.
I could make a quip there, but I don't have any.
Political movies is all I really can talk about. That's all we know.
Well, the vice president. Did you recognize the vice president? That was Miguel Ferrer.
Yeah,
he's
He looked familiar.
He's the main character in the Stephen King movie The Night Flyer, which is really awesome if you can find it.
Never seen it.
And he's the villain in Blank Check.
Yes, he is. He is a villain in Blank Check.
But most importantly, he is George Clooney's cousin, and he's the reason. I believe he's the reason George Clooney has work. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the other way around. I'm pretty sure Miguel Ferrer got George Clooney his first job or something like that.
That's interesting.
I think that was on a Regal slide once.
Of course it was.
And Dale Dickey from Winter's Bone has one scene. She's been in some other movies, but I don't remember what they are.
I hate Winter's
Bone.
Bone.
She was the one in the place that gave him the file that wasn't meant for him.
Of course.
But anyway, a really disappointing thing was Rebecca Hall, because I'm in love with her. She was in The Prestige and Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and I loved her in there's a movie nobody saw last year called Lay the Favorite. It has her and Bruce Willis in it. She really sucks in this.
The whole movie, I know I'm probably going to look like an idiot for this, and I probably am, but the whole time, I thought Rebecca Hall was Aubrey Plaza. I don't know why, I just did.
Well, Rebecca Hall had a lot more personality than that.
Safety Not Guaranteed is an awesome movie, guys. Check it out.
But I do have to say, I was getting a little worried because for the entire first hour, Don Cheadle is absent. He's in that one scene where they're at the bar with the kids, and then he's just not there at all. But then he comes back in the second hour, and he's doing some kind of comedy relief thing.
Yeah, Iron Patriot. But
then they get him, and he's in his suit. And there's this really awesome scene where they use their the stuff that makes them cyborg-like.
Yeah.
They can also burn shit with. And they're literally trying to burn Rhodes out of his suit. And Rhodes just goes, okay, here we go. And he comes out of the suit and just fights them by himself without the suit. And he kicks all of their asses.
But I believe he gets thrown against a wall, and that was pretty much the end of him.
Well, he wasn't going to win that fight, obviously, because the movie still had an hour left. But
of course.
For being out of his suit with all those guys, he kicked their ass.
See, I have a theory about why Don Cheadle disappears. Okay, when he first disappears, he is finding his agent. And he's still finding his agent, and he's beating the daylights out of him because of Hotel for Dogs. And then he kills said agent, and then he has to bury the body, and that's when he comes back, because he's hiding from the cops.
If Don Cheadle killed his agent for Hotel for Dogs, what did Terrence Howard do to his agent for not being in the new one?
I don't know, man.
I got another verse, man.
I wish Terrence Howard would do the Charlie Pride movie.
There's something I really hated about this movie. I mean, it turned out being okay because of what Downey did with it. But this movie went to the lowest of the low for a superhero movie. And that's bringing in the kid sidekick.
Yeah.
That's a horrible, horrible decision.
Danny Madigan.
Yes.
That's what it came to mind immediately.
Danny Madigan was supposed to die because he was the comedy sidekick.
Yeah.
But the thing is this kid is it's the...
You're going to bring up Real Steel, aren't you?
No, he's not that bad. God. The kid in Real Steel gave me cancer.
Pretty much.
I'm still in remission 2 years later.
That's a wig, folks. It really is.
It's on there really tight, though.
It's Trump style.
I look like James Badge Dale.
Yeah, you do. Very nice. He looks like Chris O'Donnell mixed with Mark Strong in that movie.
But I do love the things that they have Stark do with that. They have he warms up to the kid and all that shit.
He has a point, though.
But the thing is I love the scenes where Stark just doesn't care. Like, when he's getting ready to leave him there, and the kid just, like, says, "Are you going to leave me here just like my dad did?" And Stark he just thinks about it for a minute and then goes, "Yeah."
And he pulls away.
That was, like, yeah, the great Downey stuff is still there. It's just, he doesn't have to try all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that he doesn't even say anything, and I laughed so hard. It's when Rebecca Hall comes back after being introduced in the beginning, and he realizes who she is, and he says, "Please don't tell me you have a kid outside that's like 12 years old that I've never met before." And she's like, "No, he's 13. It's a really brief reaction. It's just like a really over-exaggerated flinch. It was just really funny the way it happened.
Yeah.
But then they do the shit they did in the first one where he's doing there's the scene in the Avengers where he puts the bracelet on, and then Loki throws him out of the Stark Tower, and with the bracelet he's able to, like, make the suit come to him.
Yeah.
Well, now he's done, like, the separate parts come to him. And they do another scene right out of the first one where they make a big comedy scene out of his malfunctioning equipment.
Yeah.
And that ran its course by the end of the first one, and they're still doing it.
We're two movies after that, and we're still in there.
But there was a really funny payoff to that. It's at the end when he's trying to get the suit to come to him, and only like 2 parts. He has the parts in a shed, and the door of the shed is locked, and only 2 parts come to him. And he's like, "Where are the rest?" And we get the shot of the shed door, and they're trying to come through the locked door. I thought that was really funny.
It was good.
So, and speaking of funny, I should go ahead and throw this out there. I'm not going to say too much, because I don't want to spoil it, but Ben Kingsley's character is awesome, but there's a twist with his character.
That you'll literally never see coming.
Yeah.
Never see coming.
And I don't know if this is the worst twist of all time or the best twist of all time, but it's one of those two.
I could tell you who he reminds me of, but it would blow the spot, and I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't say anything.
I'm not going to. It's too good.
I still don't know what to think about it.
No one does.
Oh, God. But yeah, then there's, oh, yeah. The whole thing about they wanted to make it feel like a Tom Clancy novel. I didn't really get that.
No.
Like, I guess the Mandarin I could kind of see Jack Ryan going after the Mandarin, but
oh yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah,
like, because like they're trying to do that whole thing now. Like they're gonna make Captain America 2 like a political thriller or something, and I didn't really see the Clancy vibe with this like they were going for.
Yeah.
I literally saw, like, people are actually saying it feels like a Shane Black movie, as it should. But, I also thought there was something a little, off. Like, I don't know, I suppose I mean, Tony is a selfish character. They, like, Jeff Bridges really made that point in the first Iron Man. Like, that's what he was saying when he was, like, taking it out of his chest.
Hmm.
But they have this really dramatic scene towards the beginning where he can that's a major plot point. He can make his suits move now, like by themselves, like just with whatever it is that he has, like, and he does this weird. There's like a suit waiting for Pepper when she comes home, ready to seduce her.
It's hilarious.
And she thinks he's inside of it, but he's just making it move. And then there's that weird horror movie scene where it's like still in his mind while he's having nightmares, and like the suit attacks Pepper while they're sleeping, and it's really brief, but it's really weird when it happens.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But anyway, there's this big dramatic scene where Pepper comes down to the basement, and he's talking about how the stuff in the Avengers is like giving him nightmares and he can't sleep. Jarvis actually says he hasn't slept for 72 hours when the movie starts. But he has this big monologue where he's telling Pepper, like, threat is imminent, and everything's going to be destroyed, and I have to protect the one thing that matters to me, and that's you. And he puts Pepper in a shitload of danger throughout the movie.
Yeah, no lie.
The guy, he comes in a bit of an overreaction. Hogan's in an explosion, and he has to be in the hospital, and he's, like, in a coma. But he's not, like, dying. But Stark gets really pissed off, and he comes out, and he goes all Mel Gibson and Ransom, and he finds the nearest camera, and he calls out the Mandarin and gives him his address. It's like, how are you going to protect Pepper by giving the Mandarin your address?
Here's my address. God knows how many people are helping you.
I mean, I know he was acting out of rage because Tony Stark is pretty impulsive.
Oh, yeah.
He's an alcoholic, so he's impulsive.
Indeed.
The very first shot of Iron Man is not of Tony Stark, it's his drink in the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you see in the trailers, Tony Stark's house blows up, which, by the way, is apparently supposed to set up for him moving into Stark Tower in New York for the Avengers 2.
That's what it sounds like.
And, of course, that's the scene everybody loves, where Gwyneth ends up in the Iron Man suit.